Life in your 40s or over 40, right? Life over 40. There's so much that opens up in your 40s, right? I got to share a little bit. Let's talk about it. Oh, I don't know if I want to talk about it. I don't know if I want to let the secret out. I don't know if I want to. Let's talk about it. Hey, this is Deanna. This is Inspired Perspectives, and we're talking about like life over 40. So hit the like button, share, comment, be kind. We're operating kindness over here. You know, do what you got to do. And we're going to talk about this life over 40 and what that feels like. And I think it's fabulous to be over 40. You have other people who have their own thing about what they think about those of us in our 40s and up, right? They have their own thing. We're not a monolith. Let's just say that. Now, functionally, we're all doing different things about the same time ish, you know, bodily things. As far as some of us experiencing perimenopause, some of us aren't, and some of us won't until our way into our 50s and some 60s. Hey, everybody's going to be a little different. That's going to be based off your mom, grandma, all those people, great grandmother, aunties, and all those things. That's going to factor in how your life medically or physically will pan out, right? But we're not a monolith. We don't roam together. You have your groups that are a certain way. This group is this way, this group is this way, and you got to respect that. What I do despise is when people put all women in the same category. We're not all the same. We don't want everything the same at the same time, and you have to deal with people on an individual basis, based on who you are, where you are, is who you're going to entertain, period. And that doesn't matter if you're male or female, whoever you are in that time, that is who you're going to entertain, even though you may attract all kinds, right? That is the rule of thumb. So, and that just goes into friendships, even your work environment, your business. It's what you're going to entertain based on who you are in that time. But I would say in my 40s, in the 40s, right, was like everything. It was the first time ever. Just the beginnings of I don't give a dang. It really is the beginnings of that. And some people will say, "Oh, I really don't give a dang." You do. It's at the beginning. You're at the very cusp of it, my dear. It's the very cusp of it. It doesn't. Some people take it to the extreme. Like I said, we're not in a monolith, so you have different segments of people who some people will cut you and cuss you out, and then others of us will probably just give you a look like you sure you want to go there? You sure about this? Are you sure? You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to kiddos, to the kids and stuff. We definitely are going to give you that look, that mama look, whether you're an auntie or not. Like we all know what that mama look is, because if we had moms who didn't play, they can just look at you. The good ones that knew, they didn't have to lay a hand on you at that time, at least, but they just give you that look. That's how some of us are going to roll. Others are going to be real nice, oh, bless your heart. Watch out for those ones. That cut is different. That cut is so deep, you can't even see the lacerations of how deep that one's gonna cut you. You understand? They take us Southern girls for something slow. We ain't slow. People in the South ain't slow by no means. You know, we'll smile at you and you be wondering, like, am I bleeding from the inside? You just might be. But being in your 40s is like the most fabulous thing ever. And I remember when I turned 40, it was another exciting time. And it was just like, I just look forward to so many great things. I think I operate in so much joy. That is why things kind of pan out in my life in such a good way and more than I ever expected. And, the Most High always wants you to be in joy anyway, right? You always want to be in that level of joy and gratitude. So it's always a level of joy and gratitude. And see, in my 40s, that's when I began running again, long distance, and my body was fit after having my daughter. And it was like, I'm going to do this because what I wanted to do was show myself how I could bounce back and get myself together physically and then mentally, and being able to kind of, burn the streets, not literally, but just burn the streets with just like the vigor, the regalness, the self love, and not arrogance, right? But the self love of knowing that I can take care of my temple, and that I can be a good example for my child, and that I could be all these great things wrapped up in one: a great daughter, you know, a great mother, and potentially great spouse, and all of these things that I could actually pull together, that, and good friend, right? Being a good friend, all these things matter to me, because I wanted to make sure that I was everything I needed to be. Because with my daughter and my cousin's children, because before my daughter came along, I had these babies that were around me, and I didn't know they were looking at me. They were looking at me. They were watching me, and I didn't know that. You don't ever know who's watching you, who's going to glean something from you in a good way, and even the bad things. So I'm always mindful how I speak, around children, especially around how I speak around people in my family and other people's children, because we're impacting them. They're walking, talking blueprints. So I'm always mindful of that. So I'm always making sure that I'm very ladylike as much as I can possibly be, because there's sometimes you come out of that depending on situations. The situational, I'm more of that bless your heart kind of person. Bless your heart. Yeah. And so you won't know where it's coming from. But in my 40s, you just get bolder. I don't know what to say about that. You're bolder in a different way. It's a quiet boldness for me. It's an energy, it's a frequency, it's a thing, like, yourself, like, something solid about who you are, yet you're still open to learn. At least I am. Again, we're dealing with some people have a static mindset behind that. So because they have a static mindset, they have signed an agreement, a covenant, to say, well, you know what, it is what it is. This is how I am. That is not, you are deciding that. You're deciding this is who you are, because you're either too lazy to change, or you don't see yourself being more than where you are and who you are right now. And if you're okay with that, keep your mouth closed to other people's success and other people making moves. If you want to sit there and eat all the ice cream and ho cakes and barbecue, whatever, and sit on the couch and don't move, be my guest. I don't want to be 2 tons of fun. Okay. I really want to be someone who's physically fit, and I want to be able to run upstairs and come down the stairs and run back up again and run back down and run back up, without help, without breathing hard and heavy. I want to eat healthy foods and good foods. I'm a foodie, so I like tasting good foods that really bring, spark my taste buds. Like, all these things is what to me brings 40 alive. And I was willing to try something new. So I started training to run. I was training like I was running a triathlon. That's where my mind was. And because I did that, I ran my first 10K, 5K first, 10K, and working on my 15 at the time. I mean, it was everything, the mental focus that I had, along with being 40 ish. Like, it's amazing when you don't really give a dang. Like, you do, but you don't sweat the small stuff. When people come with you with a lot of small stuff, you're like, I cut to the chase, get to it, get to it. I got things to do. I got things to do. So when people come with that little small stuff, that little petty things and things that get you caught up, I personally, I don't have time, the energy for a lot of that, the gossiping and carrying on. I don't keep up with celebrity stuff. If somebody tells me something, I'm like, oh, really? Oh, okay. I just can't get into it because I have enough of my own life that I have to focus on that is drama free, that I want it to remain that way. And so as I do that, and plus I'm setting an example for these little people that's watching me, these young people that are watching me now, those little people fast forward are now, graduating college, and these were my babies, my cousin's children, and they were like these are my babies. These are like I was like an auntie cousin, because my cousins and I like were raised together almost, and so these babies are watching me, and so I'm seeing that I am mentoring them from a distance, and then now I'm mentoring them up close. It's like asking me questions, and I just love it. Like I have wisdom that I'm an elder. I'm becoming I was becoming an elder, and I think now I'm officially an elder, but I was becoming something that I had looked up to people who were older, who were giving me wisdom, right? Nuggets. These little nuggets that I drop with my daughter. I drop little nuggets and I ask her questions to help her critically think through things, because mommy's not going to be around to help her think through everything. I want her and um, my cousin's children, I ask them questions and see where their mind is. Not to tell them what to do, but to find out where they are and help guide them in the way that they want to go and in the way they should go. And I never want to be someone who just told them, giving them that hard detour. I want them to have a soft pivot. Like soft pivot. Like, is that where you want to go? Okay, do this. Try this. What do you think about that? What do you think this would do if you did that? You know, have you asked this question? Have you gone over there? What do you think? What do you think you should do? Have you counted up the cost of this? Have you wrote this down and seen everything you can do? Have you thought about this idea? Have you thought about coupling this with this? I'm asking questions. These are the things that in my 20s and my 30s that I ask questions. I listen more than I open my mouth. That's the thing. I learned from observation, but I also learned from those who went before me. And listen, when those older people were sitting with me by just happenstance sometimes, and it didn't matter what nationality, it just, they sat with me, and I'm like, they are telling me some things that I need to know, and things that I put in my back pocket. These are my little golden nuggets that I just kept collecting over the years. And now here I am in my 40s, and these things are so useful. Oh my God, it's like I'm playing some type of video game in real life. Like I now have collected all these gold nuggets, and I can do with them what I want because they're so precious and so like and rubies and stones and things that amass. They it's so much value in everything that I've collected over the years that now I am being the one who's imparting onto others, like with this channel. Like I am imparting my wisdom, my things that inspired me, things that have motivated me, things that keep me going, and have kept me going and have saved me in a lot of ways because of this wisdom, because of this knowledge, because of my willingness to keep my mouth closed and listen and ask questions when necessary. I mean, when I say keep my mouth closed, that doesn't mean I don't say anything. It's usually me asking more questions, more leading questions. One thing leads to the next thing. So, why did you do that? And so, if you did this, then why not do this? And then what happened here? And so, do you think this? I'm asking questions because when you ask questions from people who have gone before you, doing maybe the thing you want to do, or they're doing something great in their life, it's a mindset that they have that allow for them to get to where they are, even if it's not exactly where you want to go. It's the mindset. And so now here I am giving all of this wisdom, to, anyone who asks, but you got to be hungry for it. So this is where 40 does. It is so freeing. It is so liberating. Like you could think of something and say it out loud, and it's like I really don't care what you think. I mean, I'm respectful, of course. That is me. Like I said, you have these groups. Everybody isn't respectful. Some people just let it rip and they just let whatever falls. And, everyone isn't like that. Some of us are going to be more reserved. Like I said, I am more of the bless your heart. That's interesting that you said that. I'm more of that. So you won't know where I'm coming from when I'm coming. However, you operate in wisdom, right? You operate where you can take everything that you have gathered and you can start giving that out. And see, and I think that, you know, the elders before us, I happen to have been blessed to have elders around me, but again, it goes back to who you are before those people are drawn to you because you have to be a certain type of person. You have had to, like, I operate in joy, operate in gratitude for people to want to impart onto me. Um, Things, right? And it wouldn't be anything they give me soft pivots. They give me softness, straight roads and soft pivots, things to think about without telling me what to do. The detours are usually the ones telling you what to do. You should do this because I did that. Be careful of that. People who are giving you soft pivots and straight roads and ideas and something to think about, they're giving it to you based on who you are. So whoever you are on the inside, you're going to entertain that in as you go along your journey. And those people will be around to help support you. And I will say that I have been blessed to have that. And I'm sure there were many others like me who've been blessed to have those people around where people say, well, I didn't have my elders. And that's unfortunate because I know there are plenty of us who had elders around that I know, friends of mine, and we are who we are because of that. We are where we are because of that. We don't give up easily because of those relationships. But I know that I've been hearing through the grapevine, listening to some of the next generation of millennials, and the late millennials and Gen Zers who say, "Well, nobody was there for me," and all this kind of thing. That's unfortunate. But I will say this about that is that you must do everything you can to fix and prepare the trauma, the drama, the everything surrounding that so that you can be the best version of yourself today, right now. No one is going to fix that for you as much as you want whoever damaged you, whoever hurt you, whoever wasn't there for you to be there for you. They are not, they may never show up because 9 times out of 10, they don't know how to show up for themselves. People who can't show up for themselves generally cannot show up for others. They don't have the capacity. So it is not your fault, but it's your responsibility. And I will say that everything in my life I've taken full responsibility over, and I don't blame anybody for the decisions I made. Now, the observation and the history dictates things sometimes, but you have the reins and you can tell that horse to turn left, turn right, go straight. You are in control of your destiny and you have the total responsibility to do whatever it takes and the goodness thereof to create the life you want. And that is the straight up honest truth. You can't take away, that's not the right word. You can't continue blaming others. It will never pan well for you. The best bet is to forgive, release it, build your life. Find gratitude, find your joy, find everything you ever thought you would want to do. Get life in order because those things from the past will drown you out. And you won't get to enjoy your 40s. You won't get to enjoy your 50s. You want to enjoy this life. You want to be in the world, but not of it. And when you're of it, I'm going to tell you, you're going to go through a lot of stuff. You're going to have a lot of things come at you and attack you because, and have you down that pit on that detour road, down in that manhole, and that manhole gets deep. It can get so deep that you don't think you can ever come out of it. So you want to be mindful of taking the reins of your life so you can enjoy your 40s. In my 40s, I did things I never thought I would do. I traveled places I never thought I would travel. I exposed my daughter to so much, like exposure can open the mind to so many things. I mean, my parents did that. Little things, going to the museum, the local museum, going to different cultural events, doing things outside of the norm of what you've always done. If you've been to the Auburn Festival every year, you've been to them all. Go somewhere else. Do something different. Experience something different. Plan something different. Go to the mountains. Go to the sea. Go to the ocean. Go somewhere. Do something different. Take a painting class, do a pottery class, do something out of an ordinary that you never would have thought you've been doing. I never thought that I would be running a 10K, 15K. Wasn't, I just knew that I used to run back in the day. I used to run in high school. I would run in college, not for a team in college, but I just did it. I swam. I always like to test my ability in my mind because I know when I'm fit and I'm healthy, my mind is clear. So to be clear and fit in your 40s and be cute and fine and all of that, and then some, and it just does something to you to have like that thing, that vigor, that something, right? That like you got like something. You got that thing, that light. That's it. You got that light that illuminates everything, right? And everyone is attracted to the light, so you got to be careful. You got to be careful, otherwise you'll have those hard detours instead of those soft pivots and those straight lines that get you to the next thing and the next thing and expansion and all these things and elevation and evolution of who you are. And in your 40s, if you're doing it right, you're definitely getting the evolution. You're definitely getting all of that. And guess what? If you were so blessed to hit your 50s, baby, your 50s is everything. You talking about 40. 40 was at the cusp of, I don't give a dang. Your 50s, you're not even blinking. You are doing everything in with the grace and elegance and smoothness and everything, right? You get your sleep, you eat your veggies. I've always been that way. I'm a vegan, so I'm I'm constantly, still challenging myself physically, still challenging my mind mentally. I read, I write, I, I have this 15-year-old is just creating life all over from, and I see so many things that I can pour into her, and all these nuggets, even the mistakes, even the failures that I've learned from, and I talk to her about. And it's like, I got to give you these things so that you can be prepared. And I think what's missing from a lot of people is that they don't have anyone that's preparing the way. And I have my mother and my mother's sisters and all of them prepared a way, and the elders that I had come in contact with that prepared the way, who dropped these nuggets and these jewels everywhere, and I just picked them up, picked them up, picked them up, picked them up. And now, now with this mind being so expansive and this mind being so open to receiving so many other good things, I know that everything that the Most High has for me is nothing but good things and abundance thereof. It's just good things. As long as I stay obedient, as long as I do what I'm supposed to do, all things, I seek ye the kingdom, and that all things start to evolve and start to come without so much of an effort. And you come with grace, you come with love and kindness, and then you follow the commandments. That's me. You do what you want to do. I know what works. I know what has worked, even with the mistakes, even with the the detour, and those are the patterns that have I have recognized in the past that has sought out to try to knock me off of the path of where the Most High has been going. And that's the path that I want you to start to see yourself on, right? To start to see the cycles, see the patterns, see the things in your past. And if you're young, start paying attention. Take your time, young people. Take your time because everything will unfold. Take your time, ask questions, be patient, be good to yourself. Get some sleep. Stay out the clubs. Stay out the clubs too much, especially these days. This is a little different. It's a different time. It's a different time right now. And you want to do everything in your power to bring about nothing but what the Most High has for you. And everything is just going to unfold, unfold, unfold. If you want to get married, that's going to happen without rushing. Put it at his feet. Let him deal with the small. To me, that's small stuff because you have to be called for marriage. It is not a it's not an easy thing, you know. It's not an easy thing. Any relationship you're in, friendship, marriage, business partnership, any of those ships, okay? Anytime you're dealing with any other human being, it's always a lot of things that you need to prepare for. It's a lot of things that you need to pray before you go into anything. It's a lot of things that you have to make sure that you're in alignment with. You have to be called to be in business. You have to be called to be in relationship romantically, in marriage, and even in these friendships. You have to be called. Is that someone I need to be with? You need to be praying these prayers. Is that who I need to be around? Is that who you have for me? Who is this person? Reveal to them what I need to know about them. Wisdom, baby. Wisdom. Ask the questions and ask the questions. Have the real conversations with the people around you. Connection is the key. Having these awesome relationships with friends and associates and all these things will help you to expand and evolve and have these connections that are just so wonderfully made. Like you can't even imagine the joy I have knowing what I have. And it's not even material. That's the thing. I see people going on these fabulous trips, and my goodness, do I love to travel? Oh, absolutely, I do. Look at my previous videos, I talk about that. I love to travel. I really do because I enjoy cultural things. I'm not talking about, oh, look at me in this fabulous dress and doing these fabulous things. It's like the food, of the culture, sitting beside someone of that country and just sitting there and having conversation. People watching, eating my gelato, sitting back, drinking my smoothie in Brazil. Like I'm sitting on the streets after coming from a bodega with my bananas and chilling like everyone else and watching people go by, eating my bananas and drinking my drink. I mean, just absorbing the environment, the cultural things. I enjoy that and those connections you make along the way of being somewhere like that. That to me is rich. That is rich. That is wealth. And then having my health. You can't, it's nothing you can do, any amount of money that anyone can pay you when it comes to your health. Your health is your wealth. Young people, go to sleep, read a book. Everybody's on social media just swiping, swiping, swiping away, just going away, and your brain cells just nothing's going in it. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people who can put some things together in 3 minutes or less. However, there's some deep depth to the information that they're giving you that they can't put in 3 minutes or less. That you're gonna actually have to get a book and read it and expand your mind. So no matter what you're doing, whether you want to go to school, run a marathon, you know, I don't know, do gymnastics. Maybe you want to climb the mountain. Maybe you want to do kayaking. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, you can do it, and no one's going to tell you no. Who's going to tell you no? Who's going to check your boo? Okay. Who is going to tell you no? You know, I've always operated in a space where at this age, in this good old age, that I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I'm going to prepare my mind for it. I'm going to prepare everything. I'm already prepared now. I got my bag of jewels that I've collected all these years. Now I get to use it and I'm sharing it with you. But I'm going to tell you, being in your 40s is absolutely fabulous. But being in your 50s is even more fabulous. It's even more fabulous. I can't even count the ways, the friendships, the family ties, connection, the business, the everything. And we've seen so much technology come and go into where we see now that we're doing things like this, where I can put this out and so many people all over the world can see this. And I hope you get something from this. I hope that this expands your mind into something greater than where you think you are and what you think 50 looks like and what you think 40 looks like and what you think we're supposed to be doing in our 40s and 50s. Trust me when I tell you this, we are not competing with anyone younger than us because we got the juice. When you get here, you're going to be like, ah, ha, ha, ha. That lady, she was right. She was right. We're not competing. Trust me. Now, you got some foolish folks in somewhere, they competing. That's a segment. Again, we don't run in a monolith. We are not all the same. All of us have different outlooks on life and where we want to be and how we see life. And the only way you get to know that is in conversation with someone without making projections and assumptions about who you think someone is based on age or what they look like and all of these things. Conversation breeds connection. And when you have a connection, then things open up. People open up and they're able to drop some nuggets onto you about the truth of who they are. I can't speak on everyone that's 50. That's why I have to say there are segments of us who are this way. There are segments of us in our 40s who are this way and this way and this way and this. It's just so much. We can't be boxed in. Women can and men can't because we all going to want different things at different times. You got men who have never been married and they desire that. You have men who are in their 50s don't ever want to be married again or ever. Maybe they've never been married, but they don't ever want to, and that's okay. You have women who are the same way. It's just that they got to find each other. I want good people to find good people. I want people who match up to find each other, who really connect on another level. I want what is good to unfold and manifest in all of our lives, and that we give honor to the Most High in everything that we do, and He'll give it back to us tenfold, right? Okay. I don't know if I said everything I need to say in this video, and it would take comments from me and questions in the comments for me, or if you decide to send a message so that I will at least be able to expand on some of this. Because I'm really just getting my channel going, and I hope that you like what I'm talking about. If you do, please hit the like button and share, and please comment, ask questions so we can continue this conversation. I am a wealth of knowledge and wisdom, and I'm a life coach. So there you go. So not only will I give you a perspective based upon just my own life experiences and others and people I've observed, just in general being a life coach. Like I'm at a point where I'm pivoting right now doing this channel. I'm pivoting in other areas of my life as I let go of one thing and I move into another. These are the things you get to do when you're over 40 and definitely when you're over 50. You get to pivot, and I've always been in the mindset that you can do whatever you want to do if you have set things up properly, if you operate in wisdom, if you operate in obedience, and if you are giving complete gratitude and you live in joy. And I can't even imagine anyone not living in their joy. That doesn't mean you don't have bad days, but the out of if there was a percentage, if you are living at least 85 to 90% of your day, your time on this earth in joy and gratitude, the other part, 5 to 10%, are just like what mishaps and uh-ohs and things that are out of your control, you know, things that are completely out of your control. So I want you to operate in joy. Enjoy all of this that I'm talking about. And I want to continue talking about it. Again, um, ask the questions so we can continue the conversation. Look at my other videos. I talk about being in your 20s and being in your 30s. And this is after 40. Everything after 40 gets fabulous. And then your 50s is just like ridiculously delicious. This is Deanna, and this is Inspired Perspectives. Thank you for enjoying my channel.